Welcome back, gamers. Today's video, I'd like to talk about the Nightfall scoring system in Guardian games and getting a top 10% score in the Nightfall to unlock your skimmer permanently after the event is over, so everybody keeps the vehicle instead of it ending at Guardian games. Now, the reason I bring this up is because to get the skimmer, you have to do the Do It quest, which has you do either get a ton of medals, or get that top 10% Nightfall scoring, or do some other task that nobody wants to do. And a lot of people are asking, what do I do to get this score? How do I get X amount in X Nightfall? What am I doing wrong? Etc. So I just thought I'd put out a small guide on tips and tricks and what you need to do to just maximize your efficiency to get that top 10% score. I think currently, at the moment of recording, you need something around 300k, maybe 290, but I feel like something around 300k, 310k is what you need to get a top 10% score. And I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, if you just maximize the effort, you will absolutely get it done, especially if these Nightfalls keep rotating and they're going to go into the bigger and bigger ones where there's a million enemies, like the Battlegrounds, for example. I'll get back to the footage in a second here and explaining the runs, but I want to show something here first, and ignore me being on my alt. I'll explain one in a second. So in the menus here, before we even begin, this is going to be your first tip. This has different levels of matchmaking here. Now, the reason I bring this up is because depending on what you're going to be doing, you might pick a different one of these. For example, if you have a full fire team, then this menu doesn't matter to you at all. You just go in normally, doesn't matter. Now, if you don't have a full fire team, let's say you're playing with only one friend, right? You can't find two people to do this with. You only have one friend to do it with. You have to pick the private version. You don't have to, obviously, but you should pick the private version. And the same thing will go for you being solo, which, by the way, for some people, that might be the preferred preference to just get this done. The reason you pick private is because you will not get matched with random players. Whether you're playing with only one buddy or you're just going in solo, you're not going to get a bunch of random people on your team that have no idea what's going on or no idea what they're doing, and they have no idea how to maximize their points. So you want to avoid that entirely because it's a big negative to your run. And real quick, the reason why I mentioned I'm on my alt is because I wanted to show that you don't have to be some sort of cracked, absolutely star-studded account where you have every perfect weapon on your account and you need the perfect loadout and the perfect artifice armor to get it done, otherwise it's pointless. No, I ran in here with an arbalist, which 99.5% of people already have, a random SMG, might happen to be funnel up, you could literally use any SMG in the slot, and then in my heavy slot, I ran a machine gun. Now, this happens to be a raid machine gun, but it's completely irrelevant. You can run literally any machine gun in this slot. In fact, the worse, the better. I'll explain that in a second. And as for my armor, as you can see, just random armor, not even masterwork, nothing. Just a solar well build with a random normal Phoenix protocol with 60 base. Again, nothing perfect, just to show. On to the runs now. Let's talk about something that you shouldn't bring or do. And that is AoE explosions on your weapons. So the reason I kind of made a joke about bringing the worst LMG that you have with you is because you want to avoid bringing things with Volt Shot or volatile rounds or incandescent / ignitions, because sometimes those can cause big explosions and orange bars can get caught in those and die to that. And, well, even if it counts as a weapon kill, you won't get the maximum amount of points that you would if you're going to do the proper shot, which we're going to talk about in a second here. So, basically, you get accidental kills, and also sometimes the game doesn't register those as proper weapon kills, and that'll cost you points because that's taking kills away from your streaks. So try to avoid doing that as much as possible. Tip number 2, and probably the most important tip of all of these because it affects your points so greatly. Every single orange and yellow bar enemy that you see in these Nightfalls that is finishable, aka not a mini-boss or a boss, you need to set up a finisher sequence with them. Specifically, you need to get them low, and then when they're finishable, hit an emote and then finish them. By doing this, you will get a metric F-ton of points. I believe standard yellow bars and champs give you like 9,000 points, but some, like servitors, give you almost 11,000. Either way, you should be doing this on every single champion that you can, and every single orange bar that you could possibly kill like this, because they give you a massive amount of points, and every single one that you don't kill like this, and you just randomly kill with a weapon, you're losing potentially 10,000 points every single time, and well, that's really, really bad. Next tip is pretty obvious, but I thought I'd mention just in case some people don't know this. During these Nightfalls, at some point, you will start losing points and not be able to gain any points if you take too long. So basically, pace yourself, but don't pace yourself at the speed of a snail trying to fight a turtle upside down. You know, you have to be going at a decent pace. So, for example, let's say you're in a boss fight, and you're just kind of sitting there and plinking at him with a primary thinking, yeah, he's going to eventually summon a bunch of ads or whatever. If you're taking, like, 3, 4, 5 minutes, it's basically a waste of time, and it's probably going to cost you in the long run. So in that case, you might want to just plow through the boss itself a little bit to get that jump start to the ad wave phase instead of just standing there and waiting and hoping it happens after your 86th hand cannon shot. You know what I mean? Next tip, and it pains me to even say this, but you should bring a Well of Radiance in these Nightfalls. Well is broken even in Guardian games, guys! Woo! Okay, but no, real talk. Well genuinely is stupid busted here for 2 reasons. Number 1, popping your well makes you unkillable. Duh. But also, popping your well and then shooting your enemies with, like, a machine gun that I was using and you're seeing in these runs, it still gives you super kills and weapon kills at the same time. So you're getting 2 medals for the price of 1. Instead of where you would use an offensive super, you would just kill a bunch of enemies, get your super medal, but you wouldn't get a weapon medal. So you're kind of just double dipping here. And thanks to how Guardian games work, you will have a super like 28 times within a Nightfall with a well. So every single time you're going to pop well, you're going to make orbs, you're going to get kills with the weapon you're using, you're going to get double medals, and you're going to feed orbs to your teammates who potentially also could run Well of Radiance and do the exact same thing for a ton of points. And this last one is just quite literally, don't die forehead. Because if you don't die and your fire team members don't die, and then the boss does... Never mind, the boss needs to die. Ignore that last part. But seriously, if your fire team doesn't die, then you get an additional medal at the end for a flawless fire team run. And that should give you another stack of points. I believe last year it was 10,000 points. I don't know if they fixed that or not, or edited that. But keep that in mind, because that could stack on top as well for your points overall. And that is it. Utilizing these tools in this run that you're seeing in the footage now, I ended up with, I believe, 383,000 as my score for this Nightfall. And let me just put something into context for you guys. Me, in this Nightfall, and these 2 other people, I've never played with these people in my life. I don't even know who these people are. They were just in my Twitch chat, and I said, hey, who's looking for a 10% Nightfall run? And they said they needed one, so they hopped in, and then we got it done. I had 0 communications with them. I had no idea how they played. I just said, get in here, do the finisher thing with the champions, and kill red bars with multi-kills and streaks, and that was it. No comms, just straight up 383k, and done. If this helps you, or maybe you just enjoyed the video or the run, please consider subscribing today. It does help the channel, is much appreciated, and helps fight that YouTube algorithm. If you want to go the extra mile, you can also leave a like and or a comment on the video, and if you don't know what to leave as a comment, you can leave Nightfall as the comment. Also, I usually don't do this, but I guess I'll give a Twitch shout out to myself in case you guys want to do a score run. I am going to be doing more of these on stream with people, so, you know, stop by stream. You never know. Maybe we'll get a run done. Twitch.tv/SneakyBeaver. Alright, I'm done selling out. Enjoy the video. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching.